everyone. So one of the questions that people have asked me is, what do you do all day, right? So we have the luxury of not having appointments and, not having a job, a 9-to-5 to go to every day. And so the question is, how do you fill your time? So I was in the middle of doing some things and it struck me that I should probably show this to everybody, because this is what I do. So today I said, oh, my Coleman cook stove was looking dirty, so I pulled it outside here and gave it a cleaning, sprayed it down with some cleaner and scrubbed it all up, and then got a couple of Gatorade bottles of water and rinsed it all off, and now it's just sitting out here air drying in the sun. So that's one little project that I had. I've taken Lefty on 2 walks so far today. It's about 11 a.m. right now. We went on 2 walks so far. I just am refilling my water jugs. This is the one that I typically I fill this when we go to the water kiosk. It's a 6-gallon, and then I use it to fill this one that sits on my back bumper. That's what I use to wash my hands and wash dishes and things like that out at the back of the truck. I actually sit it up on the bike carrier when the bike's not on there, and use it kind of as a sink, as a faucet. And then I also fill this is my inside water container. I use that to fill the coffee pot in the morning, fill Lefty's water bowl at night when he's inside and I have his water bowl inside. Before I cleaned the cook stove, turn the lights on in here. Before I cleaned the cook stove, I took the screen off of the ceiling fan here and vacuumed and wiped down the blades and vacuumed the screen. Just like any fan you have at home, this will collect dust on the leading edges of the fan blades and this screen. So that needed a good cleaning, so I got that all back to new looking. Used Windex on the blades and the area. This is real simple. These 4 holders here, they turn 180 degrees, and then it lets you just take this screen right down and gain access to the blades. It still needs, from up top, I'm going to go up top when it's open and just clean the mechanism there. I see some dust collected on the mechanism for the opener. So that's the kind of stuff I do, is keep myself busy with these little projects. I do a lot of small fixes on the truck. When you've got all these different gadgets and modifications, things, I don't want to say break, but break down and require a little bit of maintenance. When I installed, a good example, when I installed the backup camera and ran it up to the head unit in the dashboard, what I noticed was I was getting some really bad humming noise in the stereo. Any of you that have ever installed car stereos, and this was especially true back in the day, you would install a stereo, start the car, and hear a whistling or whining noise coming through the speakers. So when I installed that backup camera, I was getting this humming coming through, especially through the subwoofer box. It was a low hum, so I was hearing this when I had the stereo on. And, I just never had time to get back to it. It wasn't bad enough that it was a showstopper, but it was bothering me. So the other day, I said, okay, I'm going to fix this. So I popped the stereo out, popped the head unit out of the dash, pulled it out, and the noise stopped. So that told me there was some wire, and what it was the RCA cables that run out to the 2 amps that are in the cabinet. I bought an RCA cable that had 6 leads on it, and I was only using 3 of them. The left and right for the cab speakers, and then a mono for the subwoofer. One of those wires on the far end, because my subwoofer amp has 2 inputs. You can input 2. I had one of them plugged in, but then it wasn't plugged into the back of the head unit because there's only a single subwoofer output. So the wire was touching the frame of the stereo, the metal frame that it slides into, and that was causing feedback. So when I pulled the stereo out of the dash and that wire wasn't laying on that RCA plug wasn't laying on there anymore, the hum instantly went away. So I immediately figured out what it was, unplugged the other end from the amp because it's not feeding any signal, and that solved that, and I popped it back in. But you know, 15 minutes, and it was like, that had been bothering me ever since I installed that backup camera. So a quick 15-minute fix, and those little things seem to pop up all around the truck. My windshield wiper, the squirts for the washer on the windshield were never great in this truck and seem to have gotten a lot worse. So the other day I popped the hood open, come to find out where the 2 hoses come together, there's a single hose out of the pump. It splits into 2 that goes to the 2 squirters. Well, there was a plastic Y fitting there that the hose is connected to, and it was all cracked and broken. So I went and looked in my junk bin, and I don't know why, but I had one of those, a little T plastic it was the right size for those hoses. I don't know where it came from, but it was in my junk bin. I save a lot of stuff. So I popped that in and replaced it, and now I had windshield wiper squirts. That'd been bothering me for months, and now that's fixed. So all those little things tend to keep me busy. You know, busy is relative, I guess, because I do that stuff in the morning, and then I have some lunch and do some little computer work, and then I maybe sit and watch some TV, and then it's dinner time, and then I cook and eat and watch a little more TV, and then it's bedtime. So when I say keep me busy, you know, it keeps me giving me stuff to do for a few hours a day, and that's about enough for me right now. So that's an example of what I do to fill my time here. All right, everyone. So Lefty and I want to thank you for watching our videos and leaving comments for me. Those of you that are at home, I'm just going to keep putting some videos up to give you some things to look at. My daughter, who's back in New York, she can't work. She works at a restaurant. She goes to college. She can't go to school. She can't work anymore. They shut the restaurant down. She said she's like watched every single thing on Netflix. So I know a lot of you are in that same exact position, just hanging out at home. And so if you've got a little goofy video to watch, then my job has been done. So I'll take you on our walk tomorrow morning with Lefty. I found a beautiful place across the road and down in a valley. It's lush and grass and bushes, and it's such a contrast from what you're seeing right here. We're up on the rocks, but down there where it goes down in a little valley, it's just beautiful. So tomorrow morning I'll take you guys on our walk, and we chased a couple rabbits this morning. I posted to my Instagram where he went up in the bushes trying to chase the rabbits that we saw, and then he dug, and he's just covered in dirt, so I've got to wash him down here this afternoon before we go in the truck for the night. So thank you again for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't, and hit the notification icon. Give me a thumbs up if you like it, and a thumbs down if you don't, and shoot me a comment. Bye, everyone.